The frozen north stirs to life. The January snow is pushed away and the supplies are loaded for a midwinter power line construction job in the north of Canada's Manitoba province. Here on the Kettle Rapids of the Nelson River, a dam and 1,010 megawatt hydroelectric generating station is being constructed by Manitoba Hydro as part of the 6 billion watt Nelson River project. A modern, fully equipped camp was built to house the construction workers and serve as headquarters for the construction phase. To supply the energy needs during construction, a 138 kVA transmission line had to be pushed across 80 miles of roadless subarctic taiga from an existing generating station at Kelsey on the Nelson River. The problem was the transmission line had to be up before the thaw in mid-April, and it was late December when the contract was let to the McGregor Telephone and Power Line Construction Company of Edmonton. Winter in the subarctic may be a friend, or it may be a foe. Only in winter is vehicular traffic possible over the taiga muskeg. But the brutal cold and wind chill sap a man's ability to work out of doors. So it was decided to assemble the transmission towers in heated temporary buildings joined end to end. Steel was brought in at one end, assembled, and rolled out the other end, leaving only the cross-arm tips to be attached in the cold. Truck delivery of these completed towers would have been impractical because of the rough terrain and approaching thaw. To deliver these towers to the prepared base sites on the right-of-way, McGregor called on the services of Associated Helicopters of Edmonton and their Bell 204B helicopter. With a sling lift capability of 4,000 pounds, this helicopter is both an aerial crane and delivery vehicle. The 1,100 horsepower gas turbine helicopter eases over the ground man, hookup is made, and within seconds, a steel 85-foot guide-wire tower weighing 3,500 pounds is being transported at 60 knots per hour across frozen taiga and hip-deep snow, even in temperatures as low as 40 below. Most of the 344 towers were carried horizontally and placed beside their bases for later erection before the thaw using a small crane mounted on a tracked vehicle. As an evaluation of helicopter erection techniques in such an environment, 8 towers were flown to the site and erected by helicopter. These steel towers were fabricated by Dominion Bridge at Winnipeg and were not designed for helicopter use. Subsequent designs would undoubtedly incorporate minor changes which would greatly facilitate helicopter erection. For these evaluations, the towers were transported vertically with guy cables attached and were set directly onto the prepared bases. This was the ground crew's first experience using a helicopter as an aerial crane. A 6-man crew worked on each tower, 5 men on the base and guy cables, while the foreman was positioned where he could give visual signals to the helicopter crew. An observer in the ship relayed these instructions to the pilot, adding his own visual observations. A more efficient practice would have the foreman equipped with a portable radio in direct contact with the pilot. When the tower was secure, the pilot activated the electric release, disengaging the 204B, and left for another tower, making the return flight to the assembly yard at 110 knots. Meanwhile, preparations were made at the next site. The base was leveled and secured, a coffin hoist made ready, and ferrule-type cable clamps properly positioned. The Bell 204B carried a tower in vertical position at 40 knots. This 20 knots difference in speed, compared with horizontal carries, was balanced by the fact that the tower was already in position for erection. Initially, hovering time to erect a tower varied from 4 minutes to 7 minutes. But as the crew became more experienced, it settled down to about 2.5 minutes. It should be stressed that while 8 towers were erected by helicopter, 336 other towers were delivered to the right-of-way from 3 assembly areas as a matter of routine by helicopter. During the heart of the northern Manitoba winter, the helicopter made it possible for the contractor to complete this vital transmission line on a highly condensed schedule, enabling the first phase of the $1 billion, 6 billion watt Nelson River project to begin on schedule. This evaluation amply demonstrated that steel transmission towers can not only be transported in one piece, but can be erected in a single lift from a subarctic assembly area to the tower site.